Hello and welcome, this is Geoff Hughes. This is my Assignment 5, Legend of Zelda, The Pot Update. The first requirement for this project was to implement hearts that sometimes drop from enemies at random, and that will heal the hearts of the player. So, the first thing I needed to do was generate these hearts at random. So at line 46 of my room class, you'll see that I've created a random number between 1 to 5 and called it Beating Heart. Further down at line 176, you'll see that within the room update, once an entity has died, which is 176 here, then provided that the beating heart is equal to 1, then a heart game object is inserted at the player's current location. The actual game object description has, as you can see here at line 47 onwards, a onConsume callback function, which basically dictates that once the heart has been consumed by the player, then if it's less than 5 health points, it'll increment by 2, and if it's equal to 5, it'll increment by 1, therefore avoiding any possible problems with the bug. Now the second requirement was to add pots to the game world. Again, to do this in my room class from lines 115 to 123, you can see I'm basically choosing a random number and then inserting that random number of pots into the game world itself. The pots definition again is just a game object, as you can see from here in game objects 27 to 43. 3 states for that, all of them referring to the sprite sheet depending on the particular state, and the actual definitions themselves were drawn out here from the sprite sheet. Okay, so the third requirement was when carrying a pot, the player should be able to throw that pot. They should be able to destroy an entity. If it moves more than 4 tiles, then it's destroyed, or if it hits the wall, it's destroyed. So the logical thing is we needed the ability to pick up the pot. So I created a pickup state, which effectively creates a hitbox for the player. So if the player's hitbox touches the pot, then, as you can see here at line 44, it changes the animation, so then the pot is then being carried by the player. We then change to a carry walk state, which effectively is the pot being carried by the player, so the animation reflects that, and depending on which way they face, obviously it changes that. But the initial thing here now is if we throw the pot, then we wanted to make sure that the pot's X and Y is equivalent to the player's X and Y, which is here at lines 47 to 49. We then transition from walk state to thrown state, so we're now thrown the pot. So once we've thrown it, we basically need it to move only 4 tiles. So tile size times 4 is basically setting, depending on the direction it's been thrown, is setting the maximum distance it should travel. So to detect the fact now that the pot's been thrown and it's hit something, we go back to the room class at line 224 onwards. Effectively, it's checking whether it's hit an entity, which is here at line 227, and further down at line 243, this is where it's detecting it's hit the edges of the actual room itself and destroying the pot again. And finally, if it's moved more than the 4 tiles. So here within the game object itself, we're just checking if it's moved more than the 4, the maximum 4, then basically it's destroyed. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so here's the game in action. So I'm just going to defeat an enemy. As you can see, it spawns a heart. Just as you can see there, it spawns a heart. Not every vanquished enemy produces a heart, as it's random. And as you can see, just throwing a pot, defeating an enemy, and there you go. And just consumed. Way. Okay, there you go. That's a very brief demonstration that shows you the hearts being spawned, examples of when they don't spawn, and a pot being thrown. Okay, thank you.